All right, just a short little drive and we're over here. We're gonna get this taken care of. Hey, look at this puppy. She's checking me out. Who's at my house? Who's at my house? Now we're not doing that driveway. Boy, imagine how long that would take. That'd be a good thumbnail. But this is cool. This is a cattle guard. They can't walk across this, and that's how they keep the cattle out of their yard, but they're still able to drive through without opening a fence nonstop. So, I mean, some people have seen that and some people haven't. But the way it works is, you know, they can't put their feet in. They'd fall. We're able to walk over it, but they're not. So we're going to come in. We're going to clean up the driveway. I think she just asked for her porch and her sidewalk, but I can get the driveway. So let's go ahead and knock that out as well. It's not like filthy. And this is exposed aggregate down here. I've noticed with the exposed aggregate around here, it's more like a blonde color, and then the actual concrete kind of polishes up real white. This sidewalk, you know, I mean, it's older concrete, semi, you know, I mean, it's dark, but it's not too bad compared to what I've seen down here. There's some algae coming down from the corner. Obviously, you know what's happening is water's coming down, shooting past the gutter, and then trickling down this way. Maybe there's even a leak in the gutter. It looks like it's been repaired with some caulking. But I'm gonna spray that. We'll get that with some SH, let it rinse off, and we'll hit that spot and these spots over here. It looks like we got some under the windowsill as well. So we're not really washing the whole house, but I'll come in and I'll spray this kind of stuff. And that'll help block that stuff out of there. I think that's a big problem area I saw there on her house. But the sidewalk itself's not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. It needs edged. I don't think I have any weed eater string. I think I do, but it's at the house. I might have to run back real quick and grab that. Edge it up, make it look good. You know what I'm saying? We got the brick. It's not too bad. It's pretty dirty right here. Yeah, you talking to me? You talking to me? You want petted? Oh. Up on the front porch. I don't have any chemicals yet for rust, and I let her know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move the furniture out in the yard. We'll run over this and just make it look as clean as we can. But the rust spots, I told her I won't be able to fix that. She's not worried. They're actually going to come in and they're going to paint the concrete. So a lot of the times when concrete's painted, they use, it's more of a masonry stain. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the house, see if there's any problem areas. I've already spotted one. All right, we got this spot over here. Not too bad, but you can see there's kind of a spot where the roof goes from its peak and then kind of tapers off. And it's just running off the eave there. And my guess is it probably, yep, it comes down, funnels down this way. So we got a problem area where it's hitting the ground and then splashing back on the house. So we'll go ahead and spray that for her. Now, I don't know if they want the back porch. There's a lot of furniture on the back porch, and it's been painted. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. You can see, you know, it's just got a coating, and it cleans it up so you can see the color transition. Kind of seals it up. I think that's pretty popular around here. So there's some over here, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. All right, first things first, let's make it look like a pro is in here. Let's clean up the edges. Okay, so this one's up for the debate. I prefer using a string trimmer to edge with. I think it's faster and I'm more proficient with it, although I do have a metal blade edger and I use it from time to time. You know, if the edge is overgrown or whatever it might be, sometimes I'll bring it out, but it's not very often. I'm just very used to using a weed eater to trim up the edges and make the edges look good. One of the big reasons I like using it is I do a lot of residential properties, and residential properties are more short shots with the weed eating and edging. So basically, you know, you can edge and weed eat at the same time. So like this, I don't have to go back to my truck and trailer and swap out for a different piece of equipment. I can just knock it out with the same unit. And the other thing is that keeps you from having to carry another unit, which cuts down on theft, because how are they going to steal something that's in your hand? I mean, they could, but the odds are they're gonna steal something that's easy to steal. So every time I've had extra units that weren't needed, I dealt with more theft, different things like that. But I mean, the biggest reason is just that I'm proficient with using a weed eater. A lot of the employees I've had in the past, I trained them that way. They got proficient as well. But I did find out that later on, you know, I preferred teaching with a metal blade. So when James worked with me, I taught him with a metal blade edger. It was much easier to train him on that than it would be a weed eater. You know, so he could pick it up almost right away, have instant, you know, awesome edges that were very consistent. I think the downside is that it costs more. You know, a lot of people say, well, you spend a lot more on weed eater string. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't. Once you get used to it and you learn how to hold it and how high to keep the weed eater string so that it's not wearing a bunch of weed eater string down, you really don't spend a whole lot in weed eater string. And if anything, it makes you better while weed eating as well, so you use less material altogether. So, but with James, you know, I had him using the metal blade edger all year long, and those blades are like, you know, $2 to $4 a piece. You can buy them online and get them a little cheaper, but my point is, you might go through a blade on a property if the property's bad. Which, I mean, in comparison, you're probably going to go through some weed eater string if the property's bad. But you're not going to go through $2, $3, $4 worth of string on that property. So, you know, it adds up. You know, sometimes you might go through 2 blades, 3 blades a day, depending on how dry the soil is, how much they're chewing up on the concrete, how overgrown the edges are, that kind of stuff. So right now I'm spraying the concrete, and I've had a few people ask about this. Why do I do it? I have a few reasons why I'm spraying the concrete. One is I want to see, are there any glares on camera? Because I'm still learning what angles work, where does the sun have to be, am I messing up the shot? Like right here, you can't really see the concrete. So, you know, this kind of helps me through editing and getting more familiar with it. I can see what angles and where the sun's at to kind of you know, help me figure out to make my videos better in the future. The other thing is it's just it shows the contrast, how dirty it really is. And then I think of it like soaking the dishes. I don't know if this logic is really relevant because I'm putting a lot of pressure and it's gonna bust it off, but you know, I think of soaking the concrete like soaking the dishes, and if there's something on there that's pretty nasty, hopefully it would soften up with soaking with water. Right now I'm spraying SH, or the Pool Essentials cleaner, on some algae that's on the house, the windowsills, and then I go ahead and hit this concrete area as well, and probably some of the sidewalk. The sidewalk didn't really need it. It was mostly just dirt that, you know, had collected from when it rains and stuff like that and settled down. So it looks really bad when it's wet. Now when it came to the bricks, the moment the water hit them, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good, you know, because they were pretty rough looking. I'm using the Echo sprayer. I'm not affiliated with them in any way other than I've used their equipment for a long time. This is like the one piece of equipment that I don't like that they've, you know, that I bought from them. The sprayer works fine and everything, but the piston gets stuck, so it wants to continue spraying even after you let up. Then the bleed off valve, where it's positioned and how it's positioned, and you know, basically you open the bleed off valve to let off the pressure when you're done using it, and it'll just blast the mist up in your face. Even if you position your body different, it just seems to work that way. So I'm not a huge fan of that, especially if you were going to be using glyphosate products that, you know, are carcinogens. That's not something you want to do. You don't want to be breathing that in more than you have to. Now this is the ball valve that I put on here. I ordered this off of Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, somewhere in that range. But I will say already the ball valve's an issue. One, it was really heavy, so we're looking at it possibly getting another one real soon. And then the fittings started corroding almost immediately, which is, you know, I mean, you're messing with water. But you can see right here, I'm having a hard time getting the fitting to go down. So I take out the tool that I had in my pocket, which was my phone, and I start beating on it. And which is why I buy cheap Walmart beater phones, okay? I don't have to worry about dropping it. If I want to pull it out and use the case to beat on something, I can't. If it drops off the roof of a house, if I'm on a roof, it's all good. I can drop it out of my pocket, mow over it with a mower. If it breaks, it's all good. I don't want to have to worry about my phone constantly. I also like buying a new phone every year. That's just me. I like getting a new phone. I like having, you know, going through the process of just feeling like I got something new. It's like getting a pair of new shoes. New shoes just feel good. You know what I mean? They don't have to be the most expensive thing in the world, but new shoes feel good. I'm using the Hustler surface cleaner. Some of the common comments are, you know, people want to know, is it heavy? You should probably try a side-to-side motion. You should get a wheeled unit. So we'll probably get some different surface cleaners down the road, try some stuff out, let you know what we like. But for sure, this thing, it's not too heavy. I'd say maybe 15, 20 pounds when you're not using it. But the thing is, like, when you're using it, it's pushing water at the ground with really, really high pressure. So it almost, I don't want to say it levitates, but it pulls up off the ground a little bit, and it makes it easy to move as long as you're going forwards and backwards. If you are moving it side to side, it doesn't have enough upward pressure to help lift and then take that pressure off your lower back. So if you want to move it from side to side, which I do every now and then, it's really, really high impact on your lower back. So, you know, I am trying to be more careful. I talked about safety, but there's one thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be better on my feet, better on my knees, and better on my back as far as protecting them. The damage of being in the lawn care industry, I mean, it will wreck your body really, really fast. Cleaning up the porch, the SH had been soaking for a little bit. I think I was diluting it pretty low. I probably did 1 part of the SH to 3 parts water, which now I'm just pretty much going almost full strength with the SH, which is, I believe, at 10% chlorine. The difference is when I spray it on algae now, it'll turn white. It'll start like melting off, especially when it comes to vinyl siding. It's really cool to see it work on vinyl siding. I'm very impressed, because in the past I used high pressure, which, you know, coming to find out more about the industry and working with power washing, that's kind of a big no-no because it can oxidize the vinyl siding. which is basically just degrading the material and breaking it down prematurely. I never had an issue with that in the past, but you know, the thing is, you might do that and you won't instantly see that it oxidizes the siding. It might be, you know, a month or two later that you really see the results. I mean, if you're hitting it real hard, you might see it instantly, but basically what happens is the plastic has little tiny bubbles in it, right? Just from the manufacturing process. But when you go over it with that high pressure, it breaks those open, and then with the sun, you know, coming in with the high heat, you're going to start to see the degradation of the material a lot quicker. So that was really good to know. And actually using chemicals on it, I would say that I wouldn't go back to using pressure on vinyl. Even if there was no possibility of damage, I wouldn't use pressure on vinyl again, because it's so easy using the correct chemical, because you just spray it on. You don't even need a power washer to clean vinyl if you do it correctly. All you have to do is, you know, have a little pump sprayer like I had with that Echo pump sprayer. You put the chemical in there, pump it up, spray it, and then from there, you know, it'll start melting off after you spray it with the chemical, and then just rinse it off with the garden hose, and it looks like you have brand new vinyl siding. It's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm in beautiful Arkansas. We're all wrapped up with this project. This is the next day, so everything's had time to dry, and you can see how bright it got. And you can see the color transition from out there to in here. This concrete is a bit different than this up here. It's just polished different. And what you're seeing here isn't streaks. It's actually, you know, from when they're troweling it at the end, when they're, you know, making it smooth, you'll have different brush marks. And you can kind of see it over here, you know, just how they run their brush. Now it is, it is a farmhouse. So, you know, they've got cattle and horses and a lot of baby cows. The baby cows are really cool. I enjoy seeing that. But it's gonna get dirty up there, and that is what it is. But all of this looks really, really sharp. And on the side of the house where we had the algae, it still looks dark, but it is lightening up. And I put chemicals on it, so it's got some post-treatment. And it's significantly lighter than it was yesterday. I didn't put a lot of pressure on that. So Ann and Rick are who my parents bought their home from. And you know, they're just right up the road from my parents. So I'm gonna be back around and I'm gonna check back on this. If it hasn't lightened up a whole lot, well, I'll just bring the power washer down and spray it again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this. Listen to those dad shoes. Squeaky. All right, don't bag on the dad shoes. I waited a long time to be able to rock dad shoes, all right? All right. This right here looks awesome. We got the full transformation. But I think what really looks best out here is this brick patio. I mean, that came out looking great. And I really like the color of the brick as well. It's you know, it's not like a deep red. It's just a pretty color, almost like a sandy look. So I think that looks awesome. And you can see around the edge, that's where it was real dirty. It polished up real nice. And over here, I think was about the worst of it down here. It just looks great. Up on the patio, there wasn't too much I could do about the rust stains. And like I said, I think they are coming through. From what she said, she wants to come through it and paint the porch where the concrete's at. So I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Is that a thumbs up? I think we've got one more project we can fit in during this trip while we're in Arkansas. And out of all the power washing I did down here, probably a good, I don't know, 30 hours of work. Only 2 jobs were jobs that I did for income. So the rest were for the enjoyment, the gain of the knowledge of learning how to do the projects and be proficient at it. Not only for, you know, the quality, but I want to be able to knock it out in a reasonable time. And then the other thing is, I know that you guys enjoy the videos. So if you could, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I think there's like 89% of people that watch our videos have not subscribed. So if you're one of those people, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know, you don't have to stay in the closet that you like our channel. It's okay. All that said, I'm gonna see you in the next one. We'll see you real soon. Hey, if you like this video, YouTube's got a couple suggested videos. Go ahead and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.